Hello, High Vibe Tribe. It is Pink Bella. Welcome back to my channel of Starseeds, Lightworkers, Empaths, 144,000 Grid Keepers, Gatekeepers, Divine Goddesses. This is going to be an epic transmission for all of us. It came in yesterday, and today is the first time I've had to share this all with you. So we are going through such an epic solar eclipse upgrade for the solar eclipse that will be on the total solar eclipse, which is going to go and impact basically all of North America, including Canada, the morning of April 8th. And I've already done a deep dive Akashic record reading, so I'll link that as well at the end of this session. But what I want to share with you is there'll be more updates. I'll have a couple more updates before we head into the solar eclipse. So we are going to use this as an advantage to accelerate our personal and collective timelines. And it's going to be a massive awakening for all of North America and Canada, which is unbelievable. So excited. It's going to be turning over a lot of stones. It's going to be bringing a lot of darkness to the surface, and we're all going to be needed on deck this year with our tools, including things like grid work, etc. Okay. All right. So I'm bringing in information for us at this moment for the solar eclipse because we are in eclipse season. That new moon in Pisces that we just had on the weekend, it was a super new moon. And what I've noticed with the new moons and the full moons this year, it's like it's been recalibrated back to a frequency for pushing many of us into dark night of the soul, separation from prime source creator, feeling like we want to give up. So to me, the frequencies have gone back to a really low transmission. If you're not experiencing that, that's okay. That means it's just not part of your journey at this time. But I know many of you are, because many of my beautiful clients reach out to me and we're having a tough time as soon as that super new moon portal. It was in Pisces, and it was meant to bring everything mental and emotional to the surface that needed to be healed and cleared. Many fears, whatever deep fears, deep wounds, deep traumas. And it was made to, the transmissions were made to make you think that you weren't valued, you weren't loved, you weren't supported. The deep abandonment, deep trauma was brought up. But you all made it out the other side. Like, you think about a tunnel, right? You think about if you're driving and you come up to a tunnel, you have to get to the other end. So the other end ended yesterday. I'm recording this for us today on the 12th. So we are officially now in the eclipse gateway, which goes from the new moon right through, I would say around the 10th, 11th of, I would say at least the 10th or the 11th of April. Okay. So in between that, we have the equinox, spring and fall, which is a powerful gateway unto itself. We have the full moon, total full moon lunar eclipse on the 25th, 26th. So make note of that and make preparations to really take care of yourself, because I feel like that's going to be like another super full moon, and it's going to impact many of you. Not, it's going to like want to push you down. Think about a wave crashing, like pushing you down. So you're going to want to have the tools, make a list of things that will raise you up. Okay. Um, and why do they call it a lunar cycle? It makes people loony. That was the purpose behind this part of the program in the Matrix. Okay. So just remember that that the point of the frequencies coming from the moon right now are to separate us. In the end, it's like Humpty Dumpty. We bring the pieces back together again, and we're even stronger and more unified. So that's the part for starseeds, for light workers, 144,000. All of you on your journey. This is a massive transformation and initiation on all levels to prepare you for the solar eclipse on the 8th, but also for 2024. Like, it's all hands on deck. We're not just here now to be on the sidelines. Every one of us is being pushed into another level of our soul mission, our personal work, and being the light to transform this world and the collective. Okay, remember, we're all like these pillars of light, and we've got this ripple effect. So I'm super excited. I was given this total solar eclipse will be life changing for all of us. It is going to be epic. It's going to be epic. So for the first time, I'm probably very excited about this eclipse season because I've just gone through 1 month of very intense initiations with my teams of light, with the dragons, to prepare for all of you so that not one thing that will come my way will be a surprise anymore. So recently, the piece that came as my initiation, I'm going to get into that, has been connected to the AI nanotech and also to Team D, but also the dark forces that I would never even look at because specifically they've had no impact on my journey whatsoever, I thought. However, they were ancestral. Okay, so I got a big download that I wrote down yesterday, but I want to just talk about some of the things. So right off the bat was just a reminder that the super new moon brought out a lot of mental and emotional stuff, fears, traumas, worries, concerns, mental thoughts, um, feeling like you've been abandoned again, that deep wound that we are all healing from the fall of Atlantis, from the fall of the planet. And that's an ancestral wound as well, right? So, and galactic, there's galactic aspects as well where we felt abandoned when the Lyran system was decimated. Many of us have lost homes, planetary homes. Many of us were moving around to different planetary systems. And of course, the Orion Galactic Force, which I've been sharing about. So the ascension symptoms are off the roof for all of us. And some of it is connected to the toxins and the AI nanotech that's been increased as well. So I'll get into that in a little bit. But some of the symptoms that people have been sharing about have been let me just see, dizziness, um, like hearing messages, hearing messages or having messages within you telling you you're not worthy, you're not good enough, just to give it up. Fears, anxieties, what else? Ear ringing, dizziness, nausea, feeling ungrounded, the array has been huge. The whole expansion of our upper technology, which is the third eye, the throat, the zeal point, which is also called the ultra major, the third eye and the crown chakra are all being expanded. And I, I, part of my initiation was even breaking through my meditations and just saying, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm doing it this way, which sounds a little bit like control, but I think it's just like some of us have just gotten to the fed up point of I feel like I'm going around in circles and nothing's happening. So that was a game changer to me because what I realized was that I was actually working with these other aspects of myself. So fascinating how we start leveling up. I mean, I share that and I know that. I know we embody all the guides that we work with, but to actually like physically go to a ship and just see you there, right? So yeah, so much going on. Okay. Um, just a quick grid work update. So as those of you know that I've been consciously doing grid work in my own way. And when I work with all of you, I empower you to do it your own way as well. Okay. I just give you some tools to help you while you're doing it, whether you're doing it out there in person or remotely. Um, so recently I was given an assignment for Lemuria last year where we cohesively worked as a team to facilitate unification for the Hawaiian Islands so that the Hawaiians and the people living there who are fighting for the land, the water, and sovereignty have more support around them. Then the islands were reconnected to here to Vancouver, and which is so amazing because I mean, looking back on it, there's always been a direct connect between Vancouver and Hawaii. There's like there were flights when I was a kid. So there's always been this portal access from here to Hawaii. And so that was reconnected. And then there was a reconnect between the Hawaiian Islands and California as well. So that was amazing. This year, we're working on healing the Atlantean grids, the stabilization of the new grid system before the eclipse. So we've done a big piece for New York that was unbelievable. And I've been very blessed to be in New York a couple of times. So I was blown away by the information that was given to me. There was also the next piece we're working on this week will be for Nova Scotia. And I haven't been to even though I'm Canadian, I have not been to Nova Scotia. And I have learned so much about the eastern port of Canada. The last few days have been mind blowing, and the connection between New York and the grids, and then Europe, right? So the third piece will be for London, UK. The goddesses Yeah, it's been a lot. Like it's changing all of us, and those that were called to come and do this work together, we're elevating each other and growing together. So I'll have a full update after we do this next piece of the assignment, and then we'll be completing it before the solar eclipse. The next piece is London, UK, because we'll be creating stability on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, and also facilitating and assisting the Archangel Michael ley line. Okay. All right. What else did they want me to share? I think that that's it. When I go, and a little side tip, when I go and do grid work in a busy city at a high a high a building that has a high level of dark energy, I always ask my guides beforehand if I need to be cloaked when I go and do the work. So just to let you know, when I lived in the city, that's how I learned about cloaking, and it's super important for a lot of us if we're out there physically doing the work. Okay. Okay. Um, all right. So I'll get into the initiations a little bit. And I did share this in the last video that the initiations are personal, because you and your team, you and your higher self, have set up the initiations to help you level up and go through this epic portal, and use the energy of this eclipse portal every single day to elevate your manifestation timeline. Okay. And then a reminder, then surrender it to the universe. Don't try and control the outcome, surrender it. And we're also leveling up to new levels of trust and faith in universal forces. Okay. Okay. So first off, the ascension symptoms have been huge, especially uh, the skull, the ears, which is also connected to our vertebrae. So you might be experiencing lower chakra symptoms, but specifically the skull, all the bones in the skull, and the teeth, and the ears, and the eyes are getting a massive upgrade and elevation, because that's where our spiritual technology is. But not only that, it's elevating our pituitary and pineal glands, as well, our third eye and our crown chakra, access to prime source creator and our instructions. Okay. This is a big opportunity to also recharge and reboot. So you might have some days where you're just leveled and you have no energy. I'm finding that as we're heading towards the full moon lunar eclipse, I've been very fatigued or needing a lot of sleep. And probably as we head towards the solar eclipse, we're going to be over energized. So just the message is, remember to recharge and reboot. Don't try and push yourself too hard. And that we're trusting the process. There's that word trust again. A lot of the healing and clearing that we're doing is around the fall of Atlantis, the old Atlantean stories that were not fairy tales. There was a period where it was magnificent, but at the end, for those that were there, um, deep traumas, and for those that have ancestral wounds around that, that's what we're healing and clearing, which is so interesting, because that's why this piece around activating the higher frequency grids and going around the old Atlantean grid system is going on right now. Okay. Third thing, again, the wounds are healing, recharging came in. So part of this eclipse portal is we're receiving instructions. Beautiful soul out there asked, what do the light codes look like? They're different for everyone. It's going to be a different experience for you. Some people might hear them. You might have the sounds coming in your ears. Some people might see sacred geometry. You might see light language. Some people might just have a knowing. Some people will see massive different colors coming from the sun. So you figure out the way it is for you. Okay. And everything at the back end to me is an expression of the main galactic system that we're from. So we're all these different beings from different galactic systems that are here having an experience. Those of us that have our heart and soul are connected to Prime Source Creator, the Divine Mother, and we're receiving the instructions the way we need to be. Okay. So again, wounds are healing. We're receiving important information, and use this time for recharging. It is an Akashic Stargate. When I talk about gateways, it means that you're to envision and co-create with the universe. What door do you want to go through? What do you wish to manifest? I've manifested so many amazing things through eclipses, super fast. So align with your purpose. That you all are at a crossroads. There's no wrong path, but really every day take a little bit of time setting intention of where you want to go and how you want to direct the epic eclipse season. Okay. All right. Couple other things they wanted me to share about. So there has been interference for all of us on this journey the entire way. Whether you work with the chakra system or not, I break it back down because I work with all of it. I work with it as a Stargate system. I work with it as a pillar of light, but it unpacks into these portals, these vortexes, these chakras to allow us to clear and detox certain areas of our body, organs, etc. Okay, right down to a cellular level. So there's been interference. The flip side of interference is detoxing. The flip side of interference is information comes to the light that was hidden, that was in the dark, comes to the light, and then it is transmuted and transported into a higher frequency. So the interference has been, with many of us, has been in our crown chakra, which impacts our root, which impacts, and the root chakra is about intentions and grounding and abundance and feeling supported here. So I've been scanning for different kind of like void implants since January for all sessions, and they're like old and defunct. Think about you have your phone and you have an app and it needs to be upgraded. So that's what's going on right now. But this has been a process of like with your higher self dissolving them because it's keeping you connected to an old grid system. Like it's keeping you connected to like an old phone system. So many of them have been in our third eye and our crown area, myself included. They're getting dissolved, person by person, and with any of the group calls that I've done. It's also been impacting our third eye, which has been impacting our sacral chakra. Our sacral chakra is our joy, our creativity. That helps us to be, here on in this reality and bring in ideas for abundance and prosperity. So the influence of the impact in our crown chakra and our third eye has been made us feel abandoned and cut off from source. The interference in our sacral chakra and third eye has been to prevent us from creating and believing that we are worthy of abundance and that we're relying just on the system here. The abundance and prosperity comes through this new grid system through Prime Source Creator, okay? And it's interesting because the material and spiritual prosperity card came in upside down, and it's a 6, so that'll help you lead into this next part. It came in upside down. So that's what this whole all the messages coming out, all the words, all the traumas, all the imprints have been to make you believe that you're not worthy. How come they have it but I don't have it? You could pull back to yourself and say, I'm a creator. I'm loved and supported, and I command this to come forth. I set these intentions. Recode your belief systems. All right. What came in was the sun. The sun card came in as like that's one of the best decks, the best cards in the tarot, and that is new beginnings and new abundance, and that we're receiving our abundance from the sun. And some of you might react to the eclipse. The eclipse is going to be almost 7 minutes. It's going to be long. So some of you might physically react to that blocking of the light. So again, use your tools. 6 minutes is not very long. It'll go by like that, but use your tools if you're feeling down or you're not feeling good through the eclipse. Listen to some binaural beats, have a sea salt bath, like do something positive for yourself and just know like it's transporting us into a new timeline. Okay. But again, the gifts are coming from the sun. The overall message is justice will be served to understand that karma is like escalating now, that those that are implementing the dark forces, that are implementing curses and black magic will be dealt with, that justice will be served, that we're to surrender and hand everything back to Prime Source Creator, the Divine Mother of the Universe, and to stay in our hearts. The key message is stay in our hearts and surrender to the universe. Okay. All right. And align with that universe every day. Make sure you're aligning with your light and your highest timeline every day. Okay. Oh, where did they go? I pulled some dragon messages for us. Did they go on a walkabout? I think they did. Okay, we'll have to remember which ones they were. That's super interesting. Oh, they're on the bottom. They're on the bottom of the deck. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to ask the dragons for specific messages, and they just suggested I pull some cards for us. Okay. So let's talk about like some of the Ascension symptoms now you may have been experiencing since January. It could be like cold, flu, sinus congestion, blocked ears, allergy symptoms. All right. So, this is why I love doing the work that I do, that I love facilitating, assisting you all, because that, sometimes it takes a few weeks to figure out what's going on. And what's impacting us is impacting our animals, our pets. Or if you're on a farm, you're going to notice different scenarios with your pets. Okay. So let's face it, the water, the air quality has been steadily getting uncomfortable in various locations, especially if you live in a city. And the levels of toxins keep going up and up and up. And then we have to do more to detox and make sure we're at high vibration. Okay. So, some of the things that we're going through right now, my starseed kitty also was going through, and that was mind blowing to me. So, what I had to do was sort of focus on him for a couple of weeks. And because I communicate with animals, that's been one of the gifts I've had since I was very young. Um, he wanted some specific things to help him because the food had changed. So I kept him off certain food, and I buy very high quality food. So that was the first clue. I did some research, and there are some veterinarians out there who have been talking about this since the beginning of January. A lot of animals have been getting sick. Okay, so go and do some research around that because the food chain is getting lower and lower. All right. So he wanted specific things to help boost his immune system. Good news is he's doing really great. The other good thing is that I've been sharing this with you. Had more of you reaching out for animal distance quantum healing, and that's amazing to me because they're all so sweet. I just love them all so much. So yeah, that's a distance option. And anyway, many of the pets right now are having a hard time with the food. The food has changed. Okay. So in essence, they're picking up on the toxins, maybe that the animal food that they're eating, that they were fed, that they were eating, and so on and so on. It's this chain. Okay. So there's that going on. And then we're dealing with the same thing. So once I completed with him, I started checking in with me, and I thought, why am like I've had a blocked ear basically since the beginning of February. I've gone for acupuncture. I've done my own healing work. I've used essential oils and all sorts of things, and it wasn't shifting. So finally, I got some clarity on the weekend through the new moon to scan for A.I.NANO and to scan for allergens connected to that, because I recently had a beautiful client who asked about that. So that's what we mean. We trust our intuition. We might not have the basis to complete when the information comes in, but luckily I do work with a really, really good team. So I have been offering and scanning and clearing AI officially. Gosh, has it been 2 years? I think it's been 2 years, but it really ramped up last year because the AI nanotech is a foreign energy. It's a foreign frequency to this earth at this time. So I'll give you an example. I had a great example in a session today. As soon as technology changed from just the basics to, me being at school and studying and being on a CRT unit, I started to have allergies. I didn't have any allergies until then. So I already knew there was an issue. So over the years, I've worked on various herbal supplements to assist me, but something changed in January, everyone, where the AI nanotech and the dust and the frequencies from our tech have like jumped, 50%, 100%. So I will be scanning if you wish before sessions as well. So I scanned for me on Sunday, and I was shocked at how high it was. So I usually gauge like 10 to 20% is about average. I was at like 50%. Whoa. So as soon as I upped different supplements to help to detox that out of my system, and I also ran myself through the nanotech um, session, I'm down now to just 3%, and my ear is pretty well unclogged, and I'm on my way. So that's been in 48 hours. Okay. So the allergies that we have, if you think about it, let's say you do suffer from allergies, that's your system. That's your star seed sensitivity system letting you know that there are things in the food and the water that you're around that your body's having a hard time with. It doesn't mean that you can't gain strength from that. It's just to let you know that that's one of your superpowers, okay? So add another layer to that. The AI nanotech and the technology is creating dust and different frequencies that some of you are having reactions to, okay? Those of you that are super sensitive, you will literally have a coughing fit if you go into a store that's all AI tech, or because it's like your water and you go into somewhere where it's like it's oil and water. That's the simplest way to put it. Nails on a chalkboard, like something completely devoid of the light. All right, I've had that happen as well. That's how the AI nanotech session was created. So that dust is helping us realize that everything's been raised up. Um, I knew through the Christmas holidays that the security system in our building had gotten upgraded, and I had that same reaction when I went down the lobby and they had just upgraded it. So, and that was like, yes, my whole system, like literally your throat could close up because you're trying to breathe in organically where like the energy is like it's void of natural air. Okay. So we're rebuilding now our light body, our physical body, to be stronger around these energies. And you can do it. I can do it too because we're starseeds and we came in with technology to adapt to all situations. Okay. Team D, all different levels on planet and off planet, are doing their best right now to um, to infiltrate the starseed and lightworker community, especially when you're sleeping. So high alert, shield yourself, set your intentions before you sleep, that you go where you will be supported, that you will be protected, and call on your teams to assist you because they are looking right now for any access portal, any weak link in your reality, any weak person in your reality that they can infiltrate to um, to try and take advantage of this timeline for you, like basically hijack that timeline. Okay, that's part of the initiation. Some of us have been going through it before. Like I've been going through mine before the eclipse, so I could be ready and share this all with you. So for me, they came in through an ancestral timeline. They came in through a star seed sister, one of her timelines, because we both weren't cloaking and we both didn't have the information around an individual. And they worked their way through that portal two ways. So what they showed me, you know how the 666, they showed me that it's like a jackpot number that if it hits three, ding, 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 if there's three things that get accessed, including the third piece for me, somebody sent the beings like the wicked witch. They sent out the flying monkeys because they saw there were three access points that they could come through, and they came through with a vengeance. And that was also what my kitty was doing. Cats do they transform energy, they clear energy, and my cat was being not just irritated, that's the word they just gave me, he was under attack. And what happened was my third eye blew open one day and I saw them here in my apartment. They haven't always been here. They were sent. That's what happens if something happens to me, I will go inward. I will go and unpack it and I will ask, how did this happen? Who did what? So I was like blown away, one, that these beings are still here, but two, that they were sent to me. I thought, like, I'm always on a high vibrational timeline. So it was a piece I needed to heal for my ancestors, to clear and close and seal off those other timelines, realities, um, because they were trying to hijack my reality. And then once I did that, and then my third eye popped open, I saw them, I evicted them out. I also worked with my security team and the dragons to start clearing out my building, my complex, if there's any in here as well. So, I guess what happens is if we don't have these experiences, we don't know what's out there. We don't know what exists. So I now have another piece to assist you all. So that piece is connected to people who invoke black magic. Um, they invoke incantations for the dark. They come through some religious portals. This is nothing against religion. This is like there's this dark faction that isn't talked about. Okay, and a lot of this that came my way was on planet. It wasn't off planet, but I feel like it was an off planet directive to send out the flying monkeys. I also recently had a dream through the super new moon that I was on like a transport ship, and I woke up because I heard a horrible noise, and some other factions had broken onto the transport ship, and I just heard light workers are under attack. So I immediately like woke myself up, but I did ask the teams of light to facilitate and help. So if you've been having some not very nice dreams right now, I feel like we're in the midst of this battle, and we're being shown kind of what's going on. Okay, all right. So this is everything that I just brought forward for you as well, is to help you personally and also with your business and your grid work, if this is the kind of work that you're doing. So the ancestral 666. That's where it came from. So 666 is part of the J Seals clearing session, but it's also an access portal through many different buildings, lineages. If you're living in a city and you're working in a city, that frequency is sent out often. It's around everywhere, because if the cities haven't been gridded and if they haven't been healed and cleared, they're still finding their way through. Okay, so I want to let you know that. Yeah, and I just wrote down that the AI nanotech and the dust from that, which we're having a reaction to, is has been ramped up since January 1st, and that has been blocking my ears. So just to let you all know that there's so much going on. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm doing much better. My cat is on the mend. I've been able to help a lot more of you, and I'm like, thank goodness that initiation is over. Why do we have to go through initiations? It's a leveling up to make sure we're in integrity, to move us into another level of our knowing, our expansion. And for those of us who are assisting other starseeds and light workers on your journey, it's just to facilitate and bring more insight to all of you. Okay. So you all might be going through different I call them initiations. Think of it as leveling up, a consciousness expansion, an opportunity to heal multiple timelines of traumas and old energy, the opportunity to heal it for the ancestral lineage, and then that will help your kids and your, grandkids and so on and so on. Okay, let's move into what do the dragons want to share with us for this update today. Okay, pull 3 dragons. First, we got the earth and the air dragon, representing a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Stay balanced, ground your visions, and manifest your hopes and dreams. What a perfect message for the eclipse portal. Next message is the earth and the fire dragon. This dragon, you can work with super closely out in nature and in woods. And this is also a great dragon to work with if you're doing grid work. So, but basically it's a call to all of you. It's time for service. When you give, you receive. I love that. And then the third message is the water dragon. So drink lots of water, stay near the water, spend time near the water to recharge. The water dragon helps us to flow easily around obstacles. We are receiving massive amounts of divine feminine, divine masculine, prime source, creator, divine mother, Christed light. We're embodying that. It's helping us to expand and develop our abilities and to go with the flow. And this is going to expand our abilities beyond what we can imagine. I think on that note, I'm going to say aloha to all of you. If you would like to work with me, check out the description box below. There's some options there. There's lots of amazing packages and personal sessions, including distance sessions for this time frame. And there, if you are called and you would like to work with me consistently to help you step into your power, to have more confidence, to ramp up your intuitive abilities, that's what the mentorship packages are all about. I did just write up all the benefits, so you can check that out. And I do have an opportunity for one more soul to start this month. Sending you all so much love and aloha from Pink Bella. Epic eclipse portal, life changing for all of us. Sending you love. I'll be back soon. Take care.